Something kicked us off.
Something kicked us off. Let's find out.
So we're back.
Do we know when we got kicked off? Because we've
I
been
don't.
talking for a while.
I don't know.
The people
I just looked up there and it said go live, and I'm like, go live. I thought we were live. What happened?
It was counting down for me. It goes 1, 2, 3, go.
Yeah, and I just had to, while we were sitting there talking, I had to do it again. So I don't know why.
Those
Sorry.
of you that missed us, Tycho was humping the pillow.
Hey guys, welcome back.
Pat Horan. So you got to the ship like in December '99, right? You got back. You got the ship just in time for
literally December 31st. I checked in on New Year's Eve, and Frank Phillips, who I see all the time out here, is now he's SysRat, so he does all the in-serves and everything else. Our old work center suit.
Right.
He's been on like 3 of my ships, and I'm like,
Really?
if anything fails on FCS, it's your fault. He's like, how? I'm like, you trained me.
There you go.
So I want to bring up a sad note. Unfortunately, you guys remember Maurice Sullivan?
Yes, we're aware.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And like that hurts my soul a lot.
The plan is at some point we're going to try to get a bunch of people on and do a kind of a tribute to both him and Val at some point. So that's
so I left Lake Champlain. I went to McCampbell, and it was me, John King, and Wilson, also known as FCC Wilson. John Wilson.
I remember him. Bald guy. Yeah.
We all checked into McCampbell together. We were all in Dahlgren together.
Crazy.
In 2003, man.
John
raging
King,
Pat Horan with his second class crows on.
Jonathan King looked at my wife and said, does anybody ever lick your feet? And she yeah, like, thanks, Jonathan. Thanks, John. That's a great thing to say to your guy in your work center's wife. That's pretty funny. Like,
Mike.
Hey, Mike. Sorry, I saw you just asked about Mo. Mo passed
something
away,
happened.
buddy.
I got kicked off. My bad. I'll take all the heat for it.
Mike's in chat. So everybody knows Maurice Sullivan. He Jason Lauber was the senior instructor at Dahlgren when I was still a senior chief. He was a senior chief. I had to go up there, and Mo went UA and ended up drinking himself to death. So like,
that's what we heard.
Yeah, like I'm doing this for Mike because I'm reading the chat, and yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
He's got about 25 Facebook profiles, depending on which one you're friends with.
I knew he passed, but I didn't know exactly how. I thought it was an accident.
It was 100% alcohol.
Oh,
he drank himself to death. And I don't like to bring up sad stuff, but I feel like we've been around each other enough to say that we need to do that.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, oh yeah. Well, so I asked Murphy came on and did an episode with us, and he told me that Master Chief Lawrence passed away. And
Scotty Too Hottie.
And then I think it was Adam Hardy told me that Chief Lack died.
Yeah, I believe it, Mike. Yeah.
So.
I've seen Adam out here once or twice. Like we're all down here. Like Adam's doing C squat. I don't get underway, man. I mean, Master Chief, I stopped getting underway a long time ago.
There you go.
That's it.
I'd love to go underway. I would love to do
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, I would. Yeah,
It's totally different,
dude. I haven't even been on a cruise. Everybody's like, "You been on a cruise yet?" I'm like, "No," because I haven't done anything like that.
Then go up to Jay and go sail the Erie Canal and you'll be like, "I'm good."
There you go.
Like, I'm good. Let's go up to Niagara Falls.
Right.
And like, no, man. Like, I'm not doing it anymore. Like, it's funny because I look back and now I've been retired a year, and it's like, man, I don't even have to work. I really don't. Like after 25 years, like my first 2 paychecks on the first of the month, one paycheck pays everything.
So we'll take this time to show you our QR code for our collection. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's just, man, it's like not living in San Diego. Like I miss San Diego, like beyond all belief. I miss being outdoors. I miss everything.
Yeah,
but I would rather be here and pay, $2.67 a gallon for gas than $6.67 a gallon for gas.
So Christina and I looked it up the other day, or last year. We kind of went to our very first apartment we had was a little 1-bedroom, 1-bath, small apartment there off of I think it's Peachtree Street off of Main Street. I think it was. Anyway, it It was $700 a month is what we were paying. Is at that apartment now $1,700 or no $1,800. It's more than
Yeah.
double. I couldn't imagine a one bedroom for $2,000 a month.
That's crazy.
Our house
One
note,
bedroom. Yep.
our house note's like 15. We got 3 bedroom, 2 baths, so on a quarter acre.
No, I mean, it's just absolutely disgusting to me what
Yeah.
California has done. I miss it, love it. And
Oh
like,
yeah.
I still to this day say Lake Champlain crew, like Bruce Maples, he was a FC3 that worked for me on the McCampbell, and now he's a mass chief. He's the 4th CSMM. He worked with John Newland. I started
Oh
dying
no.
laughing on the ground. I'm like, oh, John Newland. He's like, I'm like, eat a bag of boiled baby. You know what?
Oh, John Newland. I forgot about that guy.
So
He
like, I'm
actually
doing very
commented.
well. I want credit that I have not cussed
Pat
one
is doing a
time.
great job so far with the language. And if you somehow got we got kicked off and had to hop back on. So I apologize. I don't know why.
Mike wants to know if you knew Todd Edwards from Dahlgren.
I do, Mike.
I don't.
Unfortunately,
Unfortunately.
Is that good or bad? I don't know.
no. He passed away.
Oh no.
Oh, that's bad.
Like I'm getting like last
There we go.
weekend. So going back to the gray side, last weekend I had 3 of my friends I grew up with. Every one of them lost a parent.
Yeah.
My mom's 79 years old, dealing with
Dude, we're
Alzheimer's
getting to
and
that
dementia.
age.
Oh,
Yeah, my
We're
mom's in
getting
a
to that
nursing
age
home
where
in
people are dying.
Oswego,
wow.
Oh
Jay.
yeah.
So like you'll know Oswego.
Oh, I
Actually,
know
she's
Oswego.
just moved to Utica, and I'm like and they're calling me. I'm like, what do you want me to do? You want me to drive 10 hours? Like for what?
Right.
Like,
Right.
Right.
and then I have
So
to deal with snow and everything else.
I mean, my youngest, he's 8. We were outside waiting for the bus, and it's freezing, absolutely cold. And he looks at my wife Shauna and says, "Why do we live here?" And I was like, "You know what, kid? You got a point. Why
You
do
know
we
what, buddy? You're not wrong.
well, I mean,
You're one
it's
smart kid."
I don't know. It's kind of weird to think about like moving. I mean, I live in Louisiana. Who'd have thought? But
I
I
went to
couldn't
your house in
imagine.
Georgia, by the way.
Yes, you did. So Pat's one of like 4 people from the ship that I've seen after I got out. So Pat,
Yep.
Bruce, Steve, and Joe Herkman came down. Saw me here in Louisiana we just went to eat, and he turned
I
around
didn't
one
go to
night.
Louisiana. I went to Georgia.
Yeah,
The
but you could have. I
trifecta.
was trying to get you timed out. I would have drove down to I-10 and got it and met up with you and ate lunch with you. But you were like, oh, "I'm in a hurry. You need it."
I mean, I had my 3 kids, an ex-wife,
Yeah.
ex-wife number 2.
So, which is the ex-wife was Boston? That was number 2, right?
That was number
Okay.
2. That's the
Let me
mother,
tell you the story,
the
Jay.
mother of my children.
So I didn't
Yeah.
tell you this. Okay. Facebook comes around and I get this message for a friend request from Pat. And then all of a sudden here's another one. And there's this woman. I don't know who she is. Same last name. Okay. Oh, it's Pat's wife. Okay. So I'll take it. Back before I was just take anybody, it was requesting before I learned better.
Right.
And if you don't remember this probably, but Pat was a super light sleeper. If you rustled your lock on the your bed too loud, he would wake up and he'd be mad about you for waking him up. I just touched my lock, like so.
I cuss you out in a heartbeat.
Dude, I messaged her and I said, "Hey, do me a favor and wake up Pat at like 2:00 in the morning and tell him, hey, John says hi." And then like 3 days later, she messaged me. I did it.
Oh no!
Oh, it was awesome. I was like, yes.
I'm glad you're happy about that because I'm going to drive down to Louisiana.
Come
I'm
on.
going to say,
We got
Break it
crawfish.
at 3 in the morning and punch you in the face.
Hey,
Yeah.
we got crawfish.
I will
now,
drive
so.
up, pick up Jay, and then drive down to Louisiana.
Well,
I'm good.
if everybody apparently is in,
Down with the road trip.
if everybody's in Virginia, apparently I guess where me and Jay need to go to Virginia and see everybody. Steve Parker's there, you were there, Adam's there,
Mike's there.
Mike.
Mike's up in Dahlgren. Mike's up where I grew up. I grew up in Stafford, so like
Mike who?
Dahlgren. Mike Murphy.
Oh, okay. I thought he was in Virginia Beach. No, that's right. He was in
No.
Oregon.
I'm in
Yeah.
the Tidewater area. Let me tell
Okay.
you, this place is interesting. There's
Let's go.
like 3 parts of
Classic.
Virginia. There's
yeah.
Northern Virginia, Nova. Then there's Virginia Beach area, Navy. And then there's like the mountains, everything else. It's kind of like New York. Like there's New York City,
Yeah.
then there's
everything else.
Buffalo, And I was,
Yep.
I was born in
There's everywhere
Rochester.
else.
Oh, Mike's in Richmond, so he's not too far from me. So, Mike,
Yeah,
I'll hit
yeah,
you up. We got to
yeah.
get together.
Well, he
But
went
like,
officer, so we have to be careful how you handle it.
no,
So
no, we just don't salute.
is
I don't have to salute him anymore. None of us have to salute him.
That's right.
Even if we did, we were like 5 foot taller than him. Just kidding, Mike.
Here we go. Shots fired.
Shots fired.
Mechanicsville is where Mike lives. Mechanicsville is where Mike lives. Is that like a
That's about 45 minutes
small
from me. It's just
town?
north of Williamsburg
Okay.
and all that. It's off the 64.
Okay.
By the way, just wait till Dahlheimer gets in here.
He just told me to eat. He just told me to eat a certain thing that dogs do.
Dahlheimer is going to get in here in a little bit, and he's going to start running. Like he always like 30 minutes late to these, and starts going crazy. So we'll see. He's
I
in
mean, I come
Virginia.
in there and just try to troll you guys, and you guys are like, Pat's trolling. So
Do it. That's fun. I'm used to it. So you never smoked. You weren't a smoker.
no, I have a chew in right now. I just got
Yeah,
it.
I couldn't
I'm
like.
on my second dose of stomach cancer right now. I'm going through proton therapy up in Hampton. So that's probably a dumb idea for me to get it.
Yeah. We had a guy in high school. They believe 19 years old, died of stomach cancer, and they think it was because of swallowing tobacco. I mean, 19. So how long could he have been doing that?
Don't ask me how old I
Oh,
am.
here comes Dahlheimer. I just got a Dahlheimer is here.
I'm the tallest leprechaun you'll ever know.
Oh,
You are,
Dahlheimer's on
Mike.
the other one. Dahlheimer's watching the other
I mean, I
video.
could change my camera angle right now. You guys can watch my dog hump a whole blanket and pillow, but I'm gonna not do that. I've not cussed one time, Jonathan Lunchford.
So what did you retire
You
as, Master Chief?
Yep.
So yeah, at one point you were talking about going
Good for you.
officer, and you stayed in the match in
No, I
enlisted
lost my
rank.
commission. Oh, you guys didn't hear that.
You never told me the story, and I didn't want to bring it up necessarily, but
No, I'm okay with it, man. I
let's hear it.
lost
I
my
want to hear the
commission.
story.
2012, October 2012, I was supposed to commission. And I used to punch people in the nuts. Be like, what's the capital of
Yeah.
Thailand? Bangkok, bitch. Okay, I cuss.
Most people don't
Um,
know what the capital Thailand is. You gotta teach people. They don't know. So
so, um, 2012, yeah, like literally the day of my ceremony, Mike was supposed to be there. I had a bunch of people so August it happened. I got called in chief's mess. I walked in there and get some like coffee. I was already a paid chief, so I'm like, I'm gonna get some coffee. I walked in there and all the senior chiefs were in there. I'm like, oh, okay, they're doing like DLCPO stuff. They're like, go ahead and stand by. I'm like, for what? They're like, your DRB. I'm like, I laughed. I said, good try, bud. And I walked out. They were like, no, 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 come back. I'm like, no, no, no. So they pulled me back in. I'm like, I've signed nothing for my Article 15, so I'm gonna say whatever the hell I want right now, and I'm just gonna walk away. So that went on for about 2 hours, and my CMC hated me. Bev Leadham. I hope she dies in a burning car accident. I will say that out loud. And she was dental tech, and she was like, "You can't. Hey, you guys open this can of worms. I'm going to bring it out."
I don't know
So
who she is.
no,
I
most people
disagree.
don't.
I disagree, ma'am. But anyway, go ahead.
There's Bellheimer.
Oh, is he here?
So like this is happening, and I'm just laughing. I'm like, so I just walk off the ship and go grab a JAG lawyer. I got a defense attorney, and that worked out for me. And so yeah, that happens. We go through. This is August. I'm supposed to commission like end of September. I have my dad flew out. My dad's a retired lieutenant colonel from the army. My dad flew in to San Diego to do my oath. And this is all happening that Monday. I went to Captain's Mass. It was 4.5 hours of me standing in my whites with my combo cover. And I kept dropping it. They're like, pick up your cover. I'm like, it's 4.5 hours, man. My hand's dead. I just started laughing. I'm like,
Right.
what are you guys gonna do to me? Like, what's the 05 on a destroyer has no power to take a commission. I'm like, I'm literally appointed by the president. Like I still have my signed appointment by Barack Obama.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was just like, you have no control over this. And she started losing her mind 4.5 hours later, and we go through all this stuff. So that was Monday. Tuesday, like she finally dismissed my captain's mask. The only reason why I made senior chief, because the next year is when I made senior chief. I went to captain's mask, they dismissed it, made senior chief the next year. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So I went TAD to Rob Taylor, ET1 Taylor.
Oh
Rob
yes.
Taylor and Michael remember him. He was
Yeah,
the
yeah. Do you
EMO.
have?
He's a lieutenant.
I need to get his information if you
I
got it. Oh
remember
yeah,
Rob
yeah.
Yeah.
Taylor.
So I went to the Howard. They had no CF chief, but they had no spy techs either. And they were starting like basic phase. So Rob Taylor called me. He's like, Rob was supposed to be there. Everybody's supposed to be there. And this is like, we're talking, what, 2025, 13 years ago. I still remember it to this day. I'm literally walking off the brow to go home. I changed everything to my house. The second wife, Angela,
Yeah.
I bought like $500 in booze and $500 in food. I'm like, everybody come over, we're gonna get drunk, and I'm gonna be Ensign Horan, and like it's gonna be a great time.
yeah. I would
So
not have
like,
saluted you, by the way. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
no, you would have. If not, I
No, I
would have
wouldn't
punched you in the dick and I would have lost my commission again. Damn it, that's two cusses. That's two. All right, we're two.
Oh,
I'm not doing three.
have.
But
yeah, right. Go
um
ahead.
yeah, so like I'm walking off the brow, and my CSO is like the quarter actually, hey, chief, they want to talk to you. Like CSO needs to talk to you. Jeremy Cristetto, great dude. His dad, Nick Nealon, who was on the William P. Lawrence with me, his dad was his BMC. Great dude.
wow.
So like 12 ways to Kevin Bacon has like happened my whole career.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 6. But go
Awesome.
ahead.
And like I laugh now because everybody's like, if you'd been in the wardroom and had to ask permission to sit down from the senior officer, I'm like, I would have never done that. They're like, oh, you have to. I'm like, well, then I guess I'm not eating in the wardroom. I guess I'm eating on mess next to the fucking cheese man. Damn it, there's three.
I knew it. Anyway, go ahead. Keep going. Just roll through it. We'll manage.
Um,
There ain't that many kids watching. Ain't nobody watching. What are you talking about? Go ahead.
so like, yeah, no, man, it's just everything happened for a reason. Like, I'll be honest. I mean, I did 5 ships, 6 ships. I only did 2 shore tours and 14 deployments, man. Like, I just kept going.
So what you getting?
And
What you
so
didn't
you had
explain?
over-
You hit somebody in the nuts and you lost your you didn't
Well, so
explain.
there was a guy, I can't bring his name up because he's still
Yeah,
active
yeah.
duty.
You
He's
know
a
what I mean.
Master Chief now. So he mushroom stamped a new sailor that was seasick down to Caesar 2 on a destroyer, which is like kind of like the computer room. Tycho, enough. Tycho, enough. Kind of like the computer room. That kid
Right.
was sick. And then he went to mass. So then he brought up my name, and CMC wanted to fry me from the get-go. So like she just kept coming at me. I'm like, I'm already paid, chief. I was like, already paid. I took chief's test. I used to call it NCS 1. She's like, what's that? I'm like, non-chief select 1. It took me 7 times to make chief. Granted, I made first class for 5.5 years, but it took
Yeah.
me
Yeah.
14
You made
years to make
second
chief.
class really fast too. But go ahead. Anyway, I'm
2000.
not bitter at all. I'm not bitter at all. It's okay.
I do remember you making Ray really
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
fast.
So like,
Anyway, sorry. No, I know better. I know better.
is that what you want to do, John?
No, I know better. Anyway, we'll get to that later. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So-
No, we can get to it
No,
now.
no, no. I was telling Jay earlier that like I hate it. I really do hate it. That my first encounter with you was so negative, and it took me. You got to the ship in December 2000 or 99. It took
Yeah.
me a year and a half where I could even stomach being around you because I was just, and it wasn't you. It was the situation.
system. It's the
You
system.
you made second Adam Hardy or Randy. I'll say every bit of Randy.
Randy Cook. Yeah.
Randy loved you, bumped you ahead of me. I lost all of my 6 months of seniority I had. I was gone, lost it. Which
6 months of
I had no intent. I remember thinking, man, when I was cleaning every one of our spaces, I'm like, when the next guy gets here, I'm going to split him with him. I'm going to make him do everything because this sucks. I hate having to do it all. And I was like, hey, man, here you go. You can do this. And all of a sudden, like, no, you still do it all. And I'm like, what the crap, But then Randy had to do everything for like 3 years. So I understand later. But and I remember one time Christina called and we was on the golf course and she called and I said something to you and she was on deployment and I said something to you like, wait. And I said, wait, Pat, what, and she goes, who are you with? I said, Pat Horan. She goes, what? And because she understood, but hey, I was going to say that's a really good life lesson that the people you don't like for a while can become really good friends later. So be careful what you say to people you don't like. Because
Do you understand the first time I met John Newland was him running at me full speed because Frank Phillips, I tried to check in, and Bruce Taylor with his freaking F-100 and his camper was passed out drunk.
250.
And it,
I remember that. Yeah.
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 So like he's like, go here. I drove down to Randy Cook's house and I
Yep.
heard new guy and like John Newland's running at me full speed. All I did is move out of the way and he fell down. The next
Dude,
day I
that
got
was a party.
slammed in radar 5.
That was
He
a
picked me
party.
up and slammed me. I'm like, so you know what I didn't do after I left Lake Champlain? There's no such thing as new guy, old guy. Like I stopped. I literally bit that in the butt. I said, we're never going to do this.
Yeah.
I will be your chief out there with you, killing it. I'll be the first class. Like, because unfortunately, the Navy at that time when we all joined was like a frat. It was a big frat house.
Yeah.
It was fun.
Oh,
It was fun.
you're new here. Like that's the worst thing you can do. I mean, I work for Surfland now. I got ships out there getting shot at every day.
Mm.
And like none of us, like I behoove us and like try to put ourselves in those positions. These young sailors, man, at 19 years old, are getting shot at the Red Sea like it's friggin' going out of
Yeah,
style.
I saw that the other day. I even sent
Yeah.
Jay a note like Red Sea, something in the Red Sea getting shot at. Some
Oh, it's every day.
that's
And you
crazy.
don't hear about it even down here in Virginia Beach local news. And that's what I deal with every day. That's why I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, drive my ass to base, and log into my Sipper and get on chat and talk to these young sailors. Because at the end of the day, like, yes, I made rank fast. Thanks, Brian. FNGs. Um, but I mean, we can go into other stuff if you want, Brian, about Top Gun, old AIC world. But like
Please.
there's real shit happening every day that people are not talking about.
Oh yeah. I mean
You guys don't even know the half of it.
oh
Like
for
I have to
sure.
go to every work every day and like log in. I'm just like, wow, that wasn't on Wavy 10, which is like the no. What do I do
Well
at Surfland? I am logistics and management specialist for N6, Brian, also
that's
known as the Aegis BMD guy, CSMM, retired.
yeah. He works up he just switched jobs. I don't know what he does now.
He drinks a lot of scotch.
I don't say he sits around for a different company.
Scotch. I love Scotch.
He sits around for
So in total, you were over 20 years,
25
right?
years, 5
21.
months, 3 days was my total on my DD4 and 214.
8 commands, you said?
So I did Lake
two-
Champlain, McCampbell, recruiting, came back, went to pre-con William P. Lawrence, Howard,
Okay.
Sterrett, Laboon, ATG Norfolk in between Laboon, where I ran the BMD shop, then Laboon, then Desron 2.
Yeah. So I sent Pat a flat Stanley.
Yeah, I did
and
take
he-
it out in that one
Yeah, he
deployment.
did. And yeah, and he was like took a bunch of pictures with it. And so when my son presented the flat Stanley, had all the pictures, he was like, he got to go to a ship. That's awesome. And I'm like, that's pretty cool. Like it's kind of neat.
I told you, man, you guys, I can do it right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Well, I don't have a kid that at that age right now.
Tell me, because we did say, I did hear you say it's not the same. So explain what's the difference of the Navy now than when we were together.
Oh my God, we would have ruled the friggin' Navy as E5s. E4s and E5s.
So that was you
It's called-
saying that E5s was running the Navy.
Man, you just put something in the CO suggestion box, you win. You
Hmm,
run the Navy
really?
Really?
because they're worried about getting relieved for lack of confidence. There is
Wow.
no complaining.
So to stay out of political stuff, do you think it's going to be?
I've
Do
never
you think it's
voted in
about
my
to
life.
change?
I'm
Do you
telling you right
think
now,
it'll
I've never
change?
voted in my life. You will not hear me talk
Really?
about politics.
But do you think that
ever.
it'll change? Do you think that it might change soon?
No,
You can, okay. Just curious.
Now, I will say I have an E4 that works for me right now. Like he doesn't work for me. He's Limdu to my command. And they're like, hey, we have this spy tech guy. I'm like, cool. And Reyes Calexis. Good kid, man. Great kid. He's Limdu, tore up his knee. He was supposed to go Dev Guru, all this stuff is like getting screened. In a way, like he does not show up to work till 8:30 in the morning. He's like, well, what time do you get here? I'm like 6 o'clock. He's like, why? I'm like, because I'm leaving at 2. I'm on a 40-hour week. I'm salary.
Tropical hours, baby.
Heck yeah.
I'm salary. As long as I do my 40 hours in a week, it doesn't matter if I work 96 hours or 128 hours or 80 hours. I get paid the same.
Right.
Right.
So I'm like,
Yep.
okay. But the O5 I work for, who's screened for O6, Brian Wolf, great dude, man. Outstanding dude. He was the CEO on the Oscar Austin when I was Desron 2 CSMM. He's like, you're still giving me shit. I'm like, yes, I will still give you shit. He's like, but you're a civilian now. I'm like, okay, you want to fire me? He's like, no, I literally hired you. I'm like, okay. So we're
Thanks.
agreed. And it's just even he's not going to he'll put on O6, but he's not going to do it because he's going to retire. It's
Yeah.
a different Navy, man. Like,
Cody Gates is about to retire too.
oh, you remember
There we go. I like that better.
what's his name? Man, it wasn't Gates. He was a torpedoes man in Lake Champlain. Don Donald Donald Gaines.
Gaines, yeah. Yeah.
Gaines. Yes, I
He's
remember
the
him.
senior chief right now in the Navy.
Really? Cool.
Really?
Gunner's mate, senior chief. I ran into him one day. I'm like,
Gunner's mate switched.
well,
I guess
TM went away,
Oh,
and
did it?
I
Oh, I didn't
remember
know.
I talked so much trash. And I'm like, I remember Norman Norrid chasing you around the berthing with his Pepe out.
Which time?
Good old
Which
Good old
time?
Norm. I was like, man,
God,
I remember Norm chasing you around, and like he was on Oscar Austin at the time. I was dying laughing. I'm like, old Don Gaines. Yeah, he's senior chief. Great dude, man.
what division was
He
Gaines
was
in?
He would have been CA back then.
CA, yeah. I'm looking it up right now. I'll go to those. I have my 2 cruise books. I don't have any of my high school yearbooks because we had a flood, but I still thankfully have my cruise books. So,
No,
but,
old Donald Gaines, man.
I remember
He's
him.
a GMCS
I remember. Yep.
from Kentucky.
Yep.
I thought he was from South Carolina.
Might be. You might be right. No, I've ran
It says
into
Columbia, South Carolina is what it says on the.
There he is,
Yep.
right there.
Yep.
There
So
he is.
what you said, Rob Taylor? Do you know where he's at?
Rob's retired now. He works for Port
I'm sure.
Runyonyi, I want to
He was
say.
he was an old
Mike,
man.
you might
on
know
Lake
better than I
Champlain.
do.
Yeah, I'd like to get a hold of him. I'd like to talk to him.
He
There's a bunch of
retired
people.
lieutenant commander, I think.
There's a bunch of people I would love to get a hold of. There was a gunner, or was a sonar tech chief, Chief Weber. I would
Jerry
love.
Fontaine's still out there teaching in San Diego.
Oh, really?
Do you have Rob Taylor's information?
I'm
Pat?
pretty sure I do. If not, I know Mike does. I'll get it to you guys.
Oh, please do, because I'd love to reunite
Yeah,
with him.
yeah.
Man.
I remember that guy almost cutting my Pepe off with with his
Don't worry, Norm would be right behind you, telling you you can use
no,
his.
because I used to put on the enter. We'd walk up and put it out there on the enter thing, and I'm like, "Hey, CSAO, I need you to click on this." Yeah, Bill Witt's still running around the weather decks too, Mike.
butt naked.
Yeah.
I'm glad I don't know
Bill's
him.
down in Texas. There's still a lot of people out there, man.
Yeah.
Like, still Lake Champlain's still my favorite crew. Everybody
Really?
asks me, they're like,
As you know,
you
Dollheimer
ever-
said the same thing. So it's kind of, I mean, is it because it's your first one? Or
no,
is it because
was
the
the best
world-
one. It's just the best one.
But
Yeah.
was it okay? Let me ask you this: was it the best because of the leadership, or was it the best because you were an E4 and E5, and that was the?
No, I think
Okay.
it was just the best, man. I remember you sitting there and me, Adam, and Randy, like you get mad at us, but we're like watching you with your mouth open because John would be like, watching the TV, talking
It
to
was above
Christina
us.
on Yahoo Messenger.
Yeah. And if you can get Adam Hardy off of it, talking to Julie, you could get on there
Yeah,
and talk to people.
exactly. You two assholes. I'm like, dude, can I just like literally log in and like do something like real world? And then there was like, we had GQ and like we're Trey Osborne. I remember throwing the jack rag on him downstairs in Radar 5 on the as all Seasal.
Oh, that's,
Why is it so stiff?
that's
He's
Ugh.
like, "Are you kidding me right now?" He tried to chase me out of the space. There's the
you're just going
EM1
to
too.
catacombs and get it. It's hiding.
Yeah, remember there's the EM1 Tuliao, I think his name was EM1 Tuliao. I
Hmm.
remember like John Wilson would come in, we pulled a pin.
Yeah.
We're up there watching training videos, and John would like climb
Yeah.
up through the catacombs.
Yep.
But then
Through the
Tuliao came
plot
all the way
hanger.
up, and I heard him like literally tag out a breaker. I'm like, bro, like what's going on here right now? He's like,
You can't hear what's going on. Like,
like,
if you know, you know, and that's
yeah,
enough. That's
I'm doing very
so,
well at
What I like
politically correcting this.
so I'm going to tell you one of my.
Pat, you're doing an outstanding job.
I've told my kids this.
Outstanding.
I told my kids this story the other day. A story.
Which
a Pat
one?
Horan, a
Which
Pat
one of
Horan
8?
story I can tell. We were underway and we got biscuits, which is a rare
Yep.
thing, And there was a biscuit sitting on it was Pat's biscuit. And somebody picked it up. Might have been Bruce. Really good chance. Picked it up and licked the bottom of it and put it back on Pat's tray. So Pat, being the brainiac, picked it up, licked the top of it. So now nobody can eat it. Well, I wasn't letting that biscuit go to waste, so I ate it. I'm not eating that thing. And then one time somebody was getting a little seasick while I was eating.
Easy.
Somebody's getting a little seasick while we're eating. Pat goes, "Ooh."
I just opened my mouth. I just flew out.
No.
One of 2 times.
No. One time you
2
got seasick.
times I've ever
I'm
puked
talking
on the
about
way.
you were trying to provoke somebody else. And what in the world? What'd you do?
Oh, I went like this. Apparently, a piece.
Oh, dude, a whole. Whoa!
I phoned.
There's balloons.
Pretty funny. Anyway, and then another story that I always like is it was in Hong Kong and you called your wife, well, I guess wife number one, and you yelled at her and you called her a bad word, hung the phone up, and we went walking. I'm like, man, why would you do that? Like, that's really crazy that you would holler at your wife like that. And he goes, man, I got to call my wife. I'm like, yeah, I bet it's a good idea. And he goes over there and he gets the phone. And she answered and she goes, did you hear me? I called you a blah, blah, blah. Hung it up again. And I'm like, yep, that marriage is doomed.
Thank God I didn't have any kids in that one.
So, how many kids do you have in total, brother?
Well, I got 3 boys. My twins I adopted
Okay.
when I married the second wife. There were 7 when I adopted them.
I saw that picture of the other day. They're huge.
Yeah, Devin. Well, Devin and Derek are about 5'10", and then Aiden, my 16-year-old's about 6 foot.
That's crazy.
Wow.
And I've had one. I'll call it biological, but they're all my boys. Like my kids are my
Right.
kids, man. I got 3 boys:
course.
Devin, Derek.
Yep.
I wanted to name Aiden Declan. And she's like, I was like, never mind, because with the twins they're identical, and I'm like, Devin. He's like, I'm Derek. I'm like, the one that answered, you're fucking up. Like the one that's answering, you're in trouble. So
Yeah,
just stop
you
whatever
made a
the hell
mistake.
you're doing and pay attention, bud. Like, so yeah. Then I got this guy, Tycho.
Ticonderoga.
Tycho Burke.
So, what do your boys do?
What's that?
What do your boys do?
Well, I have one son that's in the Army right now. Devin's in the Army. He's a PFC E3
Oh,
Okay.
cool.
and makes what I made as an E6 and married in San Diego with BAH. Like that's what I
Are you kidding me?
like. You should look at military base pay right now. It is like I'm okay with it. I'm happy for it. Like,
Right.
Yeah,
like,
they deserve money.
like my son didn't believe me. I'm like, dude, like I used to make like $166 a paycheck back in boot camp.
And that was before, while you're paying into
Yeah.
your GI Bill.
Even with housing allowance in San Diego, I still needed a couple roommates. You know, Tom Leonard was one of my roommates.
Tom Leonard.
Ryan Richardson.
I'm not even gonna talk about Thailand and Tom Leonard and those guys.
Yeah, we can keep that
No
quiet.
glove, no love, that type of stuff.
That was a long time
Um,
ago.
I still remember. So who did the master chief I work for now, the CSMM. He knows Saul Gatika.
Oh yeah.
They all went to A school
Tika.
together. He's like, I know Saul. I'm like, do you know about him getting trapped in the shower and having been carried out on Tom Leonard's back butt naked on Lake Champlain?
He got a raw deal when I don't know. I mean, the story he
I
told me,
still
if that
remember
story is
Norm
true,
Norman. Norm might have had the pump out. I'm just gonna leave it at that. The pump.
He,
2119,
he always has
2119 Buffalo
some
right now.
kind of pump out.
Anyway,
Yeah. Old Norm had that little pump going, and I remember him turning my eyes like, "Hey, buddy," he had it on, and I'm just like, "Why are
oh
you turning my
Lord,
light on, bud?" He's like, "There's blood in there." I'm like, "Then stop pumping it."
who was the gun? There was a gunner's mate. Ah,
Brian Funkhauser.
no, I can't think of his name. Ike Turner, as we called
Oh,
him.
Val died
Yeah,
in
yeah.
combat with SEALs. Yeah,
Well, there's one report said he died at home, and then he was
yeah.
there was the conspiracy about a SEAL team getting wiped out, and I think he was on that SEAL team. So
I mean,
it's
regardless,
conspiracy.
he made it through
Yeah,
training. At the end of the day,
yeah. As
there was
dude,
also
Oh,
Klein,
now.
Nick Klein.
yeah. He make SEALs, or is that what you're saying?
No, he's like a photographer now, man. I follow him on
Yeah.
Instagram.
Mhm. There's a lot of guys still out there. A lot of
And
them.
then there's Rob. Man, what's his name? He has dreadlocks now.
Oh yeah, Richardson, Ryan Richardson.
Richardson. Yep.
He lives in Hawaii now. So
Yep.
he's from Miami, moved to Minnesota, lived in Minnesota for a little while. Now he's in Hawaii, hitting the part. Like, that's a big chance.
He's doing, I guess
Yeah,
he's doing pretty good.
Yeah,
in
I think
Miami,
he's doing photography
He's
too,
doing
isn't he?
well.
I
Yeah.
think.
Yep.
Funny, I still remember a lot of names. Everybody's like, "How do you remember
Right.
that?" And I'm like,
Dude, that
"Because
first
you
ship, man.
remember the people you're from." Like, I still remember
I
like
think what's Jay,
Katika waking up with the hickey on his face from Norm's pump. We're on the O4 level aft with Mike Lack when he was FC1 Lack
Yep.
and old Brookover slash
Oh yeah,
hungover.
Chief Brookover.
I still
Were you there?
remember
Were you there at that
Bruce
point?
Taylor. I wish Bruce was listening. Oh, Jeff Newts. Coons. Yeah, that's another one that we all wanted to punch in the face. Thanks, Mike. I'll say it out loud.
Mr. Ed's
Yeah,
cousin.
he stole his teeth.
What was he? A Seawiz guy?
Yes.
He was Seawiz, right? Yeah, I didn't. I mean, anyway,
Um,
diplomatic. Go ahead.
I still
You saw his teeth.
like remember to the day, like us going down to um Australia on that '03 deployment and like sitting there with Mike Burkover and like waving and Caesar Malpica,
Oh, the first deployment, 2000.
the little nips. We sit there and open the Jim Beam bottle, it was empty. But as Bruce Taylor, I remember in Australia, took out the freaking AM FM radio with his Swiss Army knife that he always had in his pocket and sat there with his finger in it and goes, "Hey, one of y'all take over. I got to pee and it hurts." We're all like, "What?" Because he got the radio to work by putting his finger on the circuit. We're just like, "Bro, no, none of us are doing this."
Dude, I remember
But
him changing the console, a CRT on the console, and he was trying to slide it in, and he was
yeah,
just,
it was
just
shocking him.
shaking.
He's like, ah. We're like, "Dude, tag it out." He's like, "It is tagged out." He's like, I remember sitting at his apartment off Hamashaw, also known as Jamaica Boulevard,
Yeah,
over in Santee. And I drove over to see him and Steve, and his parents came into town. He
yep.
showed us the picture book. He's
Lightning.
like, "Yeah, right there. That's where I got struck by lightning. That
Yep.
tree." I'm like,
And I remember I asked his mom. I point blank asked his mom, "Did he calm down, or is that why he's so wild and crazy?" And she said, "No, it actually calmed him down." And I'm like, I did not want to know Bruce pre lightning strike, but he kept
I
that quiet
remember,
for a long time. He didn't want anybody to know about that. And I don't blame him, but the
I
way we
remember
were.
Jerry Holler's wedding, and Bruce
Oh
had us
yeah.
hold his friggin' suit jacket as he's checking his oil with his friggin' keys.
Oh, jeez.
I
You
forgot
know what
about
I'm
that,
talking about,
dude.
John?
Yeah, oh yeah, dude. Yeah, I forgot all about that. That dude's man. Bruce is one of the greatest people.
He had 25 keys on that one ring, but he only needed one.
Well,
I'm
he's a
like,
maintenance.
what?
He's a
What
maintenance
does
man
that
in his
key go
head.
to? He's like, I don't know. He had the spark gapper.
You
He
can
had
hear him coming
the
in from
gapper
P-Way.
wedge.
Hey, every time I buy Spark Gap, I have like 3 or 4 of them floating around here. Every time I buy one, I think of Bruce. Every time. So without question, I think of him.
I still remember the
You can
first
hear
time
him
I
coming
met
from
all you
P-Way before
guys,
you saw him.
like after the party. We're out there and Bruce is backed up to the clay wall fishing.
Mhm.
And we go out and I remember one day we had to go out and get him. They're like, Bruce is late for quarters. Go get him. He's
Yep.
in the parking lot. He had the old F100 with the put
Camper
in
top. Yep.
camper
Yeah. Yep.
with the ice block
Over cab.
with
Yep.
his Budweiser, and he had cigarettes everywhere, but he had a kill switch.
I walked into that camper one time.
Dude,
One
we spent a
time.
lot of time.
I walked right back. It was a lot
Dude,
of
we
smoke,
spent a
man.
lot
a
of
lot
time
of
in
beer.
that camper. And then
We
they
never
caught us one time. They caught us one time because we were right off of, I think it's Pier 8. I
McDinney's.
guess-
We were at McDinney's.
Well, we was at Pier 8 and was backed all the way up as far away up against that fence as you can get.
Yeah,
And we'd have to go outside to pee. And we got busted by security
the
peeing.
water.
And yeah, you sit on the line on the wall, like, because if somebody would just peed on the ground, we probably got away with it. And so we all had to go back to the ship. It was like 8 o'clock at night. And so we walked down and Bruce gave it about 30 minutes, had a cigarette, and then ran back down there and went to sleep. So yeah. Uh-oh. What'd you do?
I don't know.
I think we lost.
Hold on.
That's on you, not me.
What's going on here? Here we go.
Operator
All right, I'm back.
error. Okay. So
What the heck, Brent? Who was that?
Mashevitz. Oh,
Mashevitz?
yes. Mashevitz. You remember the one that went to Leavenworth?
He's
Yeah.
He's a
Yeah.
bad guy.
So what do you know about that story? Because I've read everything that's on Google, but
No, he was Fat Albert. He was Weps at the time.
yeah, I
And
remember
he
him.
ended up
Yep.
being so funny story is
He went all the way to like XO
he
when
was
he got
CO of
busted,
the
right?
Mustin.
CO.
He
Okay.
was CO of the Mustin.
Yeah.
And
Really?
my
I've had to
my
really work
CSO
with
on my pre-com,
Well, he started as
remember-
Weps and then became CSO. And
yeah,
Gibney,
well, remember
Gibney
Riley,
was
the
his
black
Weps
guy.
when
There was Riley,
yeah.
the black guy.
Yeah,
and
Lieutenant
like,
Riley.
I
That was
hate to
awesome.
say that way. Sorry if I sound
Yeah, I
racist.
know you're talking
That's
about
just not
that.
what I meant.
He
But
was one of the ghouls.
um,
How did he do
I
that?
ran into him. He was striker 15. He was a captain at that time. He's like, holy shit. But I remember him and Shevitz got put on a permanent 22-2 watch
Really?
because Shevitz remember Surface. And then
Yeah.
there was a man, what was his name? GSM2 Tuliao, I think his name was.
You keep saying that. Someone look him up. That'd been first deployment, second.
Would have been first. GSM2, little
Yeah.
Filipino dude. Because we got Surface's son came on board for a midshipman cruise.
Found that
Yeah,
the other day.
I got a couple of those now. And he's like, "Hey, how the fuck you Tupas was his name. TUPAS. GSM2
I remember the
Tupas.
name.
What was the rate?
GSM2 Tupas. But Tupas is like, "Hey, brother, how you feel about Surface?" I'm like, "Fuck that fucking piece of shit." He's like, "Meet his son." And that was my midshipman. I'm like, "Oh, god damn it." Yeah, that was a lot of cussing, sorry.
I knew it. Two plus.
TUPAS.
Yes.
GSM 2?
Yeah. It might have been 3 on that one, but
I don't see it at all. There's Mupas.
Mupas. Yeah. Let me see the picture. I'll tell you if it's him.
Best I can get it.
Yep, that's him. Yep, 100%.
He set you up, huh? With Surface.
Oh, 100%. He's like, Paul T. Surface. He's like, how do you feel about that guy? I'm
So
like,
you didn't like him? I'm gonna tell you. I reached out to him.
I didn't know him. You got me in trouble
Yeah.
with him.
I
You
don't-
got me in trouble.
I
Dude,
was
with
you
him.
had
seven,
2 months with him or less.
You
he
got
left
me in
in
trouble.
February.
I was a
You
seven.
and Randy and Adam all got me in trouble with him.
Don't blame
Because-
him. That was all Randy. I'll blame every bit of it.
You got yourself in trouble with him, Pat. Stop it.
What did I do?
You
What-
guys left me at the console. I wasn't even qualified.
You guys left me and ran
fell
away.
asleep.
And I
not
went to
my
go
fault.
pee. And yeah, Augie, exactly, Brian. I went to go pee and came back, and he was in there in his gray sweatpants, gray sweatshirt, yelling at Mishevitz and Riley because MSS was unmanned and the fizz keys were in there, and RCS was armed. I'm just like, well, that's what they told me to do. He's like, who are you? And I remember you another time got me in trouble because I think it was Rob Taylor was actually standing air. You're like, whose dumb ASS idea is this? And I heard mine, and you're like, well, that's stupid. And it was Surface when we were doing like basic phase, and you turn around, you're like, oh, we're sitting at the console at
I
MSS.
I do not remember that. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but I do not recall.
I remember it clearly, and I'm like, this is what I still remember to this day. I tell all my young sailors,
Uh-oh.
even before I retired, I said, when I came in the Navy, you guys, I went up to Radar 4, you guys like, hey, boot camp, like Andre Miller, old EMO, boot camp, go do M5 on the directors. I'm like, what's that? Like, wash them. So I go up and wash them. Hey, boot camp, go do Q1 on the directors. I'm like, what's that? They're like, go grease this. And then all of a sudden I had a spot check with the CO, and I'm like,
Yeah,
they're like,
didn't
you
know
know
how
how
to
to
do it.
validate a card? I'm like,
I didn't either,
no.
man.
They're
Chief
like,
Light.
it's
at least
Hey,
no one.
syscom to MIP to da, 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 da. You guys did all this stuff to me, and that's when I
it
learned.
wasn't just me. I didn't just do it to you. I did it what I was taught. And
Yeah,
the Yoke 20s that ran the illuminators above them, there was I can't remember the number. I've been trying so hard to think about this.
it's
What was
us
the
26s, us 26s
yeah, okay.
that read the tape.
Yeah, tape read. So Chief Lack or First Class Lack, he came in and wanted to do a spot check. And I went up there and I just did it. And he goes, no, that is not how you do a spot check. He goes, how have you made it a year on the ship and not know how to do a proper spot check?
Thanks,
I said,
Adam and Randy
you did the job right. I did
and
it
Frank.
right. I did the test
Frank, I
right.
hope
But
you're hearing this. This is why I say every time you come on board my ships for InServe, it's your fault.
I don't. Frank.
I love Frank.
So I'm gonna tell you, I was supposed to do something. I don't remember what it was. I do not recall, but I didn't do it. And Frank looked at me, Radar 4, and goes, "I'm really disappointed in you." And dude, I went like, I was that tall. That's the worst butt chewing I ever got. And it's a way because I really cared what he said. And then when I got out of the Navy, I did something similar in the civilian world. And a guy named Frank Hessling, two Franks, he said the same thing to me. And I said, you know what? I can never ever do that again. I can never let somebody down by not doing my job, and probably have. But anyway, those are two times I remember that very, very vividly. And one time I said, I grew up painting, I grew up around construction and stuff. And I didn't know that if you mixed primer, that you only had a certain amount of time before it would harden. So I mixed it. I'd been up for like 23 hours and I went to bed. And I woke up next morning, that 5-gallon bucket of primer was a block. And they were mad at me. And I'm like, I didn't know that it would do that. I never found out. But I found out the hard way. So, but that's pretty fun.
Yeah,
So,
no,
so the Captain Surface, somebody said that he's made admiral, and then one guy I was talking to said that he thinks he had passed away, but we don't really know. I would love to get him on here and talk to him, or even Guillory. Guillory would be a lot of fun to talk to because Guillory
you
was.
won't get Guillory, but Bob Wells will do it. Bob Wells is. I got
You don't
him
think I
on.
can get Captain Guillory or Guillory on here?
No, he doesn't do anything on Facebook.
All I know is that Surface never was in full uniform. He always wore those moccasins.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey.
Gray sweatpants, gray sweatshirt,
Yeah.
and moccasins.
Yeah.
But you can get
And you were
Rob
his cabin boy
Wells.
too, right? Were you his cabin boy, Jay?
I don't think you can say
Yes, I
that.
was. Yeah,
I feel like you can't
That's
say.
what we called it back then.
I brought him fruit trays every
That's what we
day.
called it back then.
I mean, I'll be honest. I never went FSA. Just throwing that one
I
out
didn't
there.
think
'Cause
you
made
did.
second
I was
class.
thinking about that. Like, I was thinking about that. I was just sitting here going, when did he go? I mean,
I didn't. I made second class. I went Master Arms right after we pulled out
You
of
went
Mexico
second class
and
pass.
had like 19 people pop positive on drugs. And they're like, oh, you
yeah.
got 19 FSAs.
Atlanta Falcons hat. What are you talking about? Who had Atlanta Falcons
Brian,
hat on?
are you on the wrong chat? Hey, Brian, how are you?
No, I think Brian's in his third bottle.
He's talking
right
about
now.
something that I'm not catching. So
24-19.
I just pulled it up.
Yep.
11-27.
11-19 to go.
Okay, so I'm a little delayed.
Yep.
I really hope the Bills win the whole thing.
I really hope the Redskins
can't
beat
believe-
them next week.
I can't believe that the Lions lost last night, but it makes. I guess I think we're learning about
Are
all
you
sports.
literally trying to trash my team right now, John, because I will block
Well, I'm
you
just saying.
forever.
I'm just saying.
The Commanders, the Redskins won.
Hey, listen. But
But
what I'm going to
I
say.
heard they're trying to get it back to the
Yes, I've been
Redskins.
hearing
That's what
that.
I heard.
Last
I don't
I
time,
heard
remember
they're
that,
trying
Brian.
to get.
last time was 1991.
But there's something to be said for the fact
Oh,
that a lot of the teams that have a bye wind up losing. Like the bye is not as effective as it used to
no,
be.
it's a whole week off. They get fat and
Apparently,
lazy.
apparently it hurts because all four in the college football playoff they had to bye got knocked out 2 years ago. The Braves had to bye, they got knocked out. Like it's
You still
crazy.
talk about the Braves? Are
Well,
you like rooting for Chipper Jones over there, or like
No,
what are you
not.
doing?
He's retired. He's been gone. He's in the Hall of
He's
Fame.
probably
So he's
dead.
no, he's not dead. He's a play-by-play guy on the radio, so I listen to him all the time.
All I know is that whoever's going to be playing against the Chiefs or playing against the Chiefs and the
Yeah.
refs.
I agree.
So
Well, that's going to be
that's just
Baltimore or
ridiculous.
Buffalo.
Hey, did you see where all the I saw a picture the other day is all the Chiefs fans in 2016 and they were all wearing Patriots gear because people just swapping teams.
Are you literally trying to go down conspiracy theory?
No, I'm just making fun of Jay being a
Well, I mean,
Patriots
he's
fan.
from New York and he's a Patriots fan, so
Yeah,
that says
explain that
enough
to
in
me.
itself.
The Bills are right
Exactly.
there.
There's a reason.
Yeah. We're going to call it family.
There's
We're
a
just going to
good
call it
reason.
family so we don't touch it. It's just going to be family. If you say family, you don't touch it.
Well, I'm a 49ers fan, and it's because of family. How about that? So, but that was
Well, I mean, that
they,
works.
they stink too.
My father was a diehard Bills fan, so it has nothing to do with family.
Where do you live right now, Jay?
Syracuse.
Okay. So Syracuse, my parents live in Watertown, so not too far
Yep.
from you. But you get two choices. It's Bills or Giants. It's definitely not Patriots.
I
What
wouldn't,
are what,
I wouldn't even think Giants. Giants and the Jets play in New Jersey.
well?
True.
So
Meadowlands,
what?
yeah.
What are the what in Syracuse? What is the most common team that everybody's
Basketball.
rooting for?
The
Well, I'm talking
Orangemen.
about NFL. What's the most?
Oh, Bill.
The Bills.
Absolutely.
You're
So
far enough. You're
you're
on Lake
Bills everywhere.
Ontario.
So you're an
You're on Lake
outcast.
Ontario.
Yeah.
You're an outcast for rooting for the Patriots.
Oh, all the time. Yeah, all the time. I get crap all the time.
Yeah.
Or do you order ranch
all right.
dressing or blue cheese?
I'm a straight balsamic vinaigrette kind of guy, brother.
So you're like beyond bipolar.
You don't even like buffalo wings. What do you do?
You, you, you don't even want to live in my head, man.
Now there is some good
Get those
pizza
chicken-
down there.
The vinegar.
Vikings. Dahlheim.
Vikings.
And I do pull the pizza.
Yeah.
Yes.
The
Vikings-
pizza's the pizza. I will give it that.
Vikings did what they always do and choked.
They lost. Yeah.
At least their team, they made it. My team didn't make it. So,
Darnold had a good year, though,
Yeah.
dude. He had a good year.
yeah.
I mean, so Jay, are you going to be a UNC fan now or what?
No.
Why would it be you? Oh, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. I
Bill
forgot about that.
Belichick.
Yeah. Tar Heels. That's going to be interesting.
Staying with my orange,
The
man.
Orangemen?
I'll
Okay.
always
I
be a
can,
kid
I can
fan.
get down with that.
Yeah. Hey, I learned this recently. They're not the Orangemen anymore. They're the Orange.
The orange, yep.
It's
Well,
stupid.
The orange.
they're not the Redskins anymore either, and I say Redskins, so
And they're Cleveland Indians, too.
I say orange man all the time.
You can't even really find an old Indians hat, a Cleveland Indians hat. I wouldn't wear one, but you can't even really find
oh,
it.
you mean the Guardians?
No, Indians. So,
So stupid.
hey,
It's
I
just
agree with
so
George Carlin.
stupid. Stupid.
But- Anyway,
I think
so
we're over our time, guys.
yeah, it's okay. It's so what this is about is just this kind of stupid stuff we'd have talked about. I'm glad to catch up with you, and I know we didn't catch it all, but we'll get
Right.
you on again someday, and we might try to. We haven't tried the 4-person thing yet because it's already chaotic with 3. But
How about
we might-
this?
What I
Here
would
we go.
How about a New Year's Eve show next year, 2 years in retirement, and we all do it in person, and I figure out how to make it happen.
in Virginia?
You guys pick a location.
It'd be easier for us to come to you.
how about this? How about I don't know if you can make it happen or not. Maybe you and Brian together can. How about we get a show on the 04 level app somewhere.
Is there enough cruisers that we can pull that off?
They're all in Philly, man. We're good.
What are
All the
cruisers?
inact ships. Yeah, they're all up in Philly.
Are they accessible? Can we get up there and get on them?
I can.
Woo!
So here's another thing I would like to throw out. In 2027 will be the 40-year anniversary of the commissioning of the Lake Champlain.
1987, yep.
And so we'd have,
Yep.
2.5 years to put something together to try to see about a reunion of some kind somewhere. If we, in your opinion, where would you do that? What would be the best place? Obviously, San Diego would make sense, but
No.
we have to think about people from all over. Hey, Shauna or Shannon.
I think we need to do it like, I'll be honest, if we're going to do it, and I think Mike and Brian and everybody else will say, let's go down to friggin' Pigeon Forge, Tennessee.
That's in my backyard.
Because it's not cold, it's not warm. Do it around around the holidays. Bath, Maine.
I'm down
I can do
with
Bath,
Maine,
Maine.
man.
But I will say this time of
Is
year,
that where it
we're
was
going to do
done?
it.
Spelled Maine wrong. So anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, well, it's Brian. He's out west. We don't hold that against him.
Probably on his fourth bottle of wine.
Did you watch his episode? Did you watch
Yeah.
his episode? He said that it took him 10 years to make chief, and then it took him 10 years to not make senior chief. I like
Yeah.
that's pretty funny.
Like
Great line.
he's a couple points lower on the ASVAB score than us. But I'd be willing to, like, Tennessee autocorrect clowns. Clowls? I don't know what clowls are. Brian, just stop talking.
Maybe it's
Brian, just stop
wine.
typing. Brian, we love you. Just stop, leave it alone, because you're only making it worse.
Oh,
All
man.
caps and
Good
then
thing-
misspellings. So, like,
Good thing Norm's not watching
Yeah,
this.
Norm was horrible.
yeah. I would say I'd love to do like Memphis, Nashville.
So I was thinking Central, like Kansas City, somewhere that's a little easier
Hell,
for
let's
people.
go back
in
to
the middle.
Navy Pier in Chicago, man, where it all
I
began
mean,
for all of us.
something. Really, I'm not joking. Something central. Like, I mean, I know Omaha don't make sense, but for people who live in Wisconsin and and stuff that can't really afford to fly and take a lot of time off, that like it's kind of the middle of the country is what my brain was going. But I don't know. I don't even know. So there's a Lake Champlain page on Facebook, and I've
Let's
reached
go to
out
Lake
a couple
Champlain.
times.
I went there. Remember, I flew
Yeah,
home
so
there.
that would have been that would be
Plattsburgh, New York.
I'm
that
down.
would be really cool.
Right by me.
But I've
Let's go
been
to
trying to
Lake
reach out.
Champlain.
I've been trying to reach out to whoever runs the Facebook page, and they're not ever responding. So hopefully, I can get.
No, I mean, you got to understand, Lake Champlain's right across from, like,
Yeah, I
you
remember
got the
when you
Grateful
mentioned
Dead, and you got like other, like, the dead bands that are like followers. Like
Yeah.
Plattsburgh, New York. When I went up there, like, I went and saw my parents and everything
Like
else. Let's
Heath.
just go to Plattsburgh.
Yeah, that's a great idea. That is.
Let's do Lake Champlain on Lake Champlain.
I mean,
I think that's awesome.
And what would you fly into? What's the big city close by?
I'm not flying anywhere. I'm driving.
Where will I fly into?
Syracuse.
Flying to
Fly to
Syracuse,
Syracuse and
I'll
ride
pick
with
you up
Jay. Yeah.
No,
that's-
honestly, you either fly into Syracuse or you fly into Vermont or New Hampshire.
No.
We'll fly into Syracuse, and you and I can drive together.
Yeah, I miss you too, Brian. Hey, we gotta get that. We gotta get all that stuff working with him. Well, Pat, it's been good to see you. I think so too. August, because it was commissioned in
Indian
August
Summers,
in
man.
'97.
Indian Summers.
August. I'll take August in New York over August in Louisiana 100% of the time. When
I'll take every month
250% of the time.
outside of Louisiana, 100%.
Hey, listen.
Every month in San Diego.
Hey, I tell this story all the time about Bombay and how stinking hot it was there. And then I have to remind myself, okay, it was way hotter in Bombay. It was way hotter in Bombay. And when I'm working.
You
I don't have to
play
tell
soccer
myself that at
more.
all. I just go, it's hot outside, and I walk inside my apartment.
Yeah,
with
it's
a
hard
dog.
to do that. Hard to do that when you work outside. So
Well,
you get kind
I
of used
mean,
to it, though.
we all make choices in life, buddy. You'll be all right. You'll figure it out.
Pat, seriously, it was great seeing you,
Hey,
bro.
guys, it was awesome seeing you guys. I'll have to get you guys to meet Tycho, Burke, and Mike. I'll hit you up on a side note. We'll come up to Richmond.
Pat, you're on Facebook, so anybody who happens to watch it, wanted to find you, you're there. It was a absolute pleasure getting to see you, Fatty, again. I mean, you again.
Did you call me fatty again? I
Look
guarantee
at
if
that
we stand
chin,
next
dude.
to each other,
Yeah, you probably, yeah.
if you want to do this, we can go take rope and
Well, I'm
choke
waiting
if you
until the
want.
end of it. I'm waiting until it's all over. Hey,
I'll
by the way,
consider
Do it, do it,
back.
do it, do it, do it, do it, do it.
by the way, that's the flag from the Lake Champlain from Guam to San Diego in the 2002 deployment. I got
Yeah.
it.
Does it fit around your belly? Apparently not.
Yes, it does. 3-4 times. Thank you. I've lost weight at some point. Anyway,
It's funny. I'm heavier than both of you. So
it's good to see you, Pat.
No, if you guys need stuff from the fleet, man, let me know. I'm still
Yeah.
out here working, grinding.
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks,
I'll
brother.
hit you up. We'll work something out and get you on here another time.
I'm gonna get your number from John, and
Yeah.
we'll reunite.
You guys text me,
Get that.
John. You have full privilege to share my number, man. Anybody wants it,
Okay.
share it. All right,
Okay.
guys. I'll talk
Okay.
to you
Thanks,
later,
Pat.
buddy.
See you. Y'all have a good night. See y'all next time. All right.
Well, that was Pat Horan, and it was great. It was great talking.
Always.
Man. Wow, he looks good.
Sorry,
looks good.
something happened early on. Jay's been glitching this whole time, and I don't know. And I don't know if it's his computer or my computer. So, if sorry, but like he's froze right now on my screen. Oh, there he is now. But we started it and got kicked off. Okay, so now I didn't know if it did something that said something that we shouldn't say. And
Good night,
I think
Mike.
we had a good time.
Thanks for
Did you have a good
showing up,
time?
buddy. I had a blast.
I'm enjoying this. Are you enjoying this? I was telling somebody the other day that, I mean, for anything, if it ain't fun for everybody to watch, I'm enjoying the crap out of it because I'm getting, hopefully it's fun. So,
like we said earlier, we're on TikTok.
yes,
Come on over, follow us, and we'll see you next time.
TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and now on
Rumpelstiltskin.
Rumble. I think you said that. Rumble, yes. And y'all keep us in your prayers, Louisiana. We're about to get 6 inches of snow. We're not used to that.
Wah. Wow.
We're not used to that. Y'all have a good night.